Hayworth Leather.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Hayworth Leather. This is a review of my Techsew 2750 Pro. Let's get into it. So the 2750 Pro. So just a little backstory about myself. I have been doing leather for a few years now, and until about a year ago when I bought this machine last March, I had zero sewing machine experience. None. Never really played with one, never really touched one. So it was a very, very dramatic learning curve for me. That being said, this is an awesome machine. I love this machine. It was one of the best purchases I could have done for being a leather artisan. The quality of work that I can put out now, as well as the speed, you can't compare. So when I got this machine, I'll just tell you my experience. It's kind of funny, but it'll just give you a little bit of an idea of what may happen, and it's also not a big deal if it does. I bought the machine. It arrived, got delivered in the garage. I unpacked it, carried everything in here. It was all saran wrapped, assembled the machine, super easy, followed their videos. And there's a little piece of leather that it comes with that's stitched to show you that the machine was stitched before they packed it up. Could stitch before it packed it up. I started to stitch onto that piece of fabric. I didn't know how sewing machines worked. Got thread wrapped around the bobbin. It threw off all the timing in the cylindrical arm. I got up. And when the machine started making weird noises, I got up and walked out of my house. Did I cry a little? Maybe. I was very stressed. I thought I ruined the machine. I called Techsew, technical support. Very, very, very awesome company, because you can call them, get on the phone with them right away and say, hey, I just broke this machine that I just bought, that I was super nervous about buying because they're not exactly cheap. They laughed and said, no way, you broke it. Here they talked me through everything I needed to do. They've got a ton of videos on YouTube, and I took the time to learn how to set the timing in my sewing machine day one. Didn't feel very good in the beginning, but I'm grateful, because you are going to throw the timing off eventually. And just like in the military, or if you work construction, this is your piece of machinery. You should be proficient at it, right? You should know how it works. You should know how to pull it apart. You should know how to put it back together. It can be overwhelming in the beginning, especially when you've spent a pretty chunk of change on it. So the reason I chose Techsew was because it is a Canadian company. They have a lifetime warranty on technical support and all that kind of stuff, so I couldn't say no. And they also provide sewing machines for the Canadian Armed Forces, which being ex-military, I really like that. Got to learn the machine, got to know the machine, and honestly, it's been priceless. The speed in which I can get work done now, as well as the amount of detailing I can put in. I do a lot of stitched detailing, and I would never have been able to do those different accent pieces if it wasn't for this machine. So honestly, I can't say enough about it. I'll talk about some of the things I don't like. There's only a few things I don't like. I don't like the plastic drawer that it comes with. I think it's gimmicky and very underwhelming. I would have done a metal drawer, a bigger drawer, a wider drawer. The other thing I don't like is the way the flatbed removes. I love the flatbed that is removable with a cylindrical arm. 10 out of 10. It gives your sewing machine so much more versatility. The system in which they use, where you take it off and you still have a bolt sitting there, I'm not a fan of that. I'm probably going to look at modifying it in some way, if I can think of a way to make it where it's got like a pull pin system, but that's irrelevant. And then the other thing was the laser guide, which in everything, you buy a Ryobi saw and it's got a laser guide. In the beginning you're like, that's cool, and then eventually you're like, meh, same thing. I don't even use the laser guide anymore, so it's kind of I don't know, didn't think it was that cool. Thought it was cool when I bought it, and then I used it and I was like, it's not that cool. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's the best thing I've ever bought for my company. It's been able to take me to the next step that I wanted to get to. I was afraid that it wouldn't, and it did. It did exactly what I wanted to do. It upped my skill, it upped my speed, and it's been a priceless piece of equipment. So I can't say enough good things about Techsew. I'm really happy to work with them, to get a machine and put it to work in the shop and just be able to create the work that I've been able to do. Some of the things that I make with it are things like keychains, wallets, shave kits, duffel bags, extra large duffel bags, and it has absolutely no problem. The only issues I've had with the extra large duffel bags are just the size of the space that I have. It's not the biggest, right? It's just the 2750 Pro. They obviously have a lot of the bigger models that would support that. And I mean, I will definitely be getting those machines down the road. So that's the 2750 Pro in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are thinking about getting one, I definitely recommend. Nobody's gonna pay me if you go and buy a sewing machine, so I'm not gonna get paid if you go and pick up a sewing machine. I just figured I would talk to you about it and let you know my experience over the last year. It has been stressful. The learning curve was like this. Be ready for that. But also know that with Techsew, you have a really good support system, tons of YouTube videos, and you can just sit and watch the YouTube videos, yell at the YouTube videos, keep fixing your machine, get used to how everything works. And then once you figure it out, you kind of know, like, I'm very good at setting the timing now where like it runs so smooth, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. So when you do get one, you are gonna have a steep learning curve, and that's okay. That's with everything, right? Thanks for watching, guys. Anyways, stay tuned. If you want to contact me, the easiest place to be is Instagram. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Later.